Thrilled to be here. So do want to start by quelling the rumors that brain candy is not a performance-enhancing drug. HP is still sticking to computers and printers. But do want to talk a little bit first about just a little bit of the context of the company of HP Inc. And to set the stage, and a lot of you may have heard this and know this already, but in 2015, HP Co. separated into two companies. So Hewlett-Packard Enterprise was one, and then HP Inc. is the other. So we represent HP Inc. You can see behind some of the areas we play in. We realized this was a great opportunity for us to entirely reinvent ourselves. And we really looked at the culture. And the culture spoke very loudly about, we want to do things differently. As we pull into this new company and we think differently about our products and our market and our customers, how can we think differently about ourselves, about the culture we have and what we do? All right, so as we separated, one of the things that we looked at and that we asked our employees, 50,000 strong, we asked them three things. As we separate from HP Co., what do you want to take with you, the best of? What do you want to leave behind? And what do we want to be known for? Especially within the learning and development space, we heard very clearly that what we were doing, and to quote from Tina Fey, who I love, in the show 30 Rock, it was oldie-timey. So what we had was hard to find, hard to get. When they took it, it wasn't that relevant. It didn't really help propel them forward in the ways that they wanted. And so we took the opportunity to reinvent entirely the way we think about learning and development at HP.
We actually looked at three things. So what the business needs, what our employees want, and then what are the global trends, and what is the direction in which technology is going in terms of learning. And these were kind of the three areas that informed our decision and our direction. So as we looked at these three areas and we had interviews with our most senior leaders as well as line managers, we had focus groups and interviews with employees across the three regions. There were four big themes and insights that emerged. First of all, as Mike was saying, the employees want to find knowledge easier. They also want to share it easier with their teams, with their peers in other teams. Then they want to find experts that they could connect with. And this is not only something that comes from the employees, it's also something that comes from our business leaders. Something that we heard constantly from the interviews we had with our business leaders was that they consider to have the best experts in the industry at HP, and that we need to find a way to leverage their knowledge and their capabilities better. We need to provide them with a platform where their knowledge can be shared with as broad of employee base as possible. Then third, employees said they want their learning to feel tailored to their needs. A lot of them said that, there's a lot of generic content, there's classes, but again, classes didn't really feel that it spoke to their level, their needs, and so on. So they wanted to feel that the learning that they got really spoke to their profile and to their needs. Then last but not least, they wanted access on the go, which of course with a workforce so mobile and so diverse and spread across the three regions in more than 70 countries, it's something that we really needed to address.
As we look at redoing this, do we want to try to build something ourselves to make it more relevant and easy to access content? Or do we want to partner with a vendor to make this faster? And we realized to really hit the speed with which the culture was telling us, we need this now, there's a gap, what you have for us is not where we need it to be, we decided to select a partner. So we went through a process, of course, of looking at multiple partners to figure out what would be the right fit for us. And then when we landed on one, we also pulled together a work stream, or several, in fact, that Francine led, that pulled in the different ways we think about pulling the content together. And we're really thoughtful about making sure that the teams represented the company, that they were a reflection of the people who would be now using this tool, and really getting that crowdsource mentality out there. And so we had people from every region. We partnered with folks from legal, from IT, from comms. We had people from the business joining the teams because we knew that the more we had people engaged and partnering with us through it, the better chance we had to create something that was actually relevant. And we weren't too precious either with the way we thought about things. Like, we wanted to really just question our assumptions all the time and redirect if we needed to very quickly and fail fast and make decisions and change our course.
So what we ended up doing was to set a deadline of 14 weeks from the moment we selected our vendor till the moment we wanted to launch the platform. As you can imagine, 14 weeks to roll out a new learning platform globally to 50,000 employees is not easy. But as Mike was saying, we had, I think, the advantage of a strong leadership endorsement and support from across teams, across businesses. We also needed to understand and select the type of content that we wanted to add so that it felt relevant to our employees. The good news was that the platform allowed us to have integrations with multiple sources of content. So, of course, we brought in the content from our LMS. We then decided we wanted to add content from lynda.com, as that was one of the main providers, especially in terms of technical content that our employees really needed. But then we also looked at things that you don't normally see in traditional corporate learning platform, like TED Talks or free content that is available on the web. But that also brings a lot of added value to our employees. We also partner with the businesses to identify experts and influencers in the different teams that could help us also add that technical and that functional specific content, so that when we launch, we could ensure that we also had content that spoke to very functional, specific needs that our employees would have, and it wouldn't feel like something that was being only HR driven.
The name, Brain Candy, so that's the name of the platform itself.
We wanted to also share some of the numbers we've seen so far in the 3 months since we've launched. In 3 months, we've seen approximately 20,000 users signing up. So these are employees who voluntarily, without anyone telling them you need to go to register, signed up on the platform and starting experiencing the value that it could bring to them. Of course, we still have to reach the other 13,000, but for us, this initial number is really significant and a big success. We've seen more than 400 gatherings, and gatherings are communities of people with similar interests. Again, these are gatherings driven by employees. So employees organize themselves, created a gathering to share content, to have conversations around different topics, to share experiences.
Brain Candy has not in any way replaced the fact that we, of course, pull people together face-to-face and virtually to go through facilitated learning. But the way we've done that, though, has shifted. So now we leverage Brain Candy before and after the face-to-face. So, and again, this is not new or rocket science, really. It's what a lot of companies are doing. But we're using and leveraging the gatherings within Brain Candy so that we can pull people together. They can get to know each other first before we get into a room and have valuable face-to-face time. So the face-to-face part becomes more of a workshop where people bring their actual work, and they've done a series of content before to get prepared and to know kind of some of the theory about what they're going to step into. They get to know each other. They might do some kind of assessment, MBTI or DISC, about who in the group is going to be participating. So then when they come to the 2-hour, 4-hour, 8-hour workshop, sometimes 2-day workshop, they're actually just working things out. They're getting live feedback. So we've done all the theory before. So when they get into the room or the virtual experience, they're actually just doing and learning as they go. And so it's entirely shifting the way that we leverage our time together, and we can kind of schedule those back to back because we have groups of people who are ready for that face-to-face experience. So after the workshop, they go back to their gathering and they can share what they've just done, what they've learned, what other questions have come up, what else they want to continue to learn. And again, because it's all free and open source, they can say, oh, I found this great TED Talk on this topic, or what do you think about this article from Fast Company or Wired? And they can keep the learning going and keep it fresh. We partnered with Pathgather to get this whole thing put together, and they've been fantastic partners. And I could go on the road as a paid spokesperson for them if they ever wanted me to. But it just couldn't be better in terms of the partnership, the way they worked with us. Again, that 14-week period to get this moving was an incredible amount of work and collaboration. So.
And you can tailor it to your needs, and you can tailor it to your branding, which for us was a critical point.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.